Good morning, guys. Let's see. Everything working? Everything good? Hopefully, maybe. Hopefully that's working. Honey, are you on? Is it working or is it choppy? Maybe. Trav, are you on?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it working?
The internet?
No, I started the live. Is it working?
Oh, shoot. No, I'm not on.
That's what I just asked you. Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, depending on where you're at. Hey, Gina. Is it working? Is everything coming through okay? Sometimes it's hard to tell. It seems like it's working on my end. Hey, all the way from the UK. That's awesome. Nearly dinner time. Good morning, Tamara. Good morning, everyone. Becky, I'm glad you got to come hang out. Crazy to think that it's evening over there already. We're all starting our days and barely moving along here. Awesome. I'm glad you guys all got to come hang out with us. Is everybody having a good week so far? Good start to the weekend? Doing anything fun? Hey, Trav. We are, nope, not aware that it says Sunday Live. I should pay attention to what day of the week I'm on. I wonder if I can change it. I don't know if I can change it. Maybe I can change it after we're done. I don't think I can change it while it's going. Nope, not aware it said Sunday Live. Nope. Did you guys get to see, I know Gina, you got to, did you guys get to see the Mary More Than Martha episode this morning? We recorded it week before last, I think. So I have been dying to get that Mary More Than Martha uploaded for you guys to see how you liked it. Our whole goal with those videos is we wanted it to feel like you're coming over to sit down and hang out and we're just chatting through stuff that I think is important and are topics that people want to be having conversations on, but I feel like we're not having conversations enough on. So I know, Gina, I saw your comment, but it made me feel so good when you said that that's exactly how you felt, because that's exactly what we were going for, was to have that kind of sense of, I know we can't all physically be together, but if we can do this on here and it could feel like, hey, come over, sit down, hang out, let's chat through this stuff and, talk about various different, things and whatnot. That's what we really wanted it to feel like. So when Lex suggested, let's go sit down in the living room and do it just sitting on the couch, I think that worked out well, even though the girls in us, when we were sitting there, were like, oh, is this the most flattering angle to be sitting here all sprawled out on the couch and trying to get everything all put together? But I think it worked out okay. Lex and her husband Travis, they're actually coming up tomorrow afternoon, and we've got some really important podcasts that we're going to work on that I think are going to be really, really good. We're going to talk about depression and dealing with like depression and anxiety. That's one topic that we're really excited to work on. And then Lex and I are going to record the next Mary More Than Martha's. So if there's any topic that you would like to hear us out and share on, we have a list of ideas that we've been putting together for over a year now that we're kind of working off of. But if there is a topic in mind that you guys like really, really want to hear about specifically, just let me know and we can kind of put that into the mix and pray over that and talk on that. But we're going to be doing those tomorrow to get them recorded and up for next Saturday. And then you guys, super duper exciting. Brandon and I have been working this week because we've told you about how with our home church, A&P home church, where we're going to be doing everything online to share with you guys Bible studies and things like that. Brandon went ahead and recorded the first one this past week. So we've got the first one of our like online Bible study that will post early tomorrow morning. So if you guys want to hop on and do Bible study with us, we're going to start that off tomorrow morning. And then every Sunday from here on out, it is our goal to do our like AMP online home church Bible study in the morning. And then we've been kind of contemplating maybe like later Sunday afternoon doing like another live where we can all kind of sit down and discuss and kind of just have a time of fellowship and stuff like that with one another. So if that's something you guys are interested in, let us know, because that's what we've been kind of kicking around and thinking about, maybe even setting up an area. We have like a little outdoor kind of courtyard area. We've kind of been thinking about setting that up as like an outdoor space that we can sit down and do the live in. Again, kind of like that Mary More Than Martha series. We want it to feel like we're all kind of sitting down with one another, like come into our home, let's talk about these scriptures, let's talk about these things, and just enjoy that time of fellowship with one another. So that's kind of our heart in the matter that we're praying over and hoping that we're doing the right thing. But awesome. So tomorrow morning, you guys will get the first one. We are still trying to figure out exactly the best way for us to do this and have everything come across the way that we're trying to have it come across. So Brandon kind of starts this first one, and then next Sundays we kind of mix up kind of how we're going about it just a little bit, but I think it works better. Brandon had a lot that God was really laying on his heart for this first one that he wanted to kick off, and it's because of you guys. It's every week doing this and me telling him prayer requests and updates and stuff like that throughout the week, and it was just weighing really heavy on his heart. So he finally came up and was like, we need to sit down and do this because I cannot get these people off of my mind all day long and in my prayers, and we need to go because I have things I need to say. So where the Bible studies. The Bible studies, we recorded them like in podcast form. So we will have them on anywhere that you get, your podcast, iTunes, Google Play, stuff like that. But I'm also going to have them on YouTube. So you can pull up and listen to the Bible study here on our channel as well. And then that's where I was kind of thinking, I have a whole website for the home church and everything that as soon as we get the funds in so that I can pay like the website hosting and all of that, we'll get that website up. So I'm really praying that we'll be able to do that here within the next like couple weeks. And then I was kind of contemplating if I shouldn't start a YouTube channel just for our online home church. And that way the Sunday lives, if we want to do that, if that's something that you guys think would serve you, I was thinking if we did it that way the lives could be slightly more private. Not that we don't want everybody and anyone to come join in with us, because we do, but I want to make sure that we're creating a space of, I know that this is online. And so in some sense it's, it's very public and out there, but at the same time, we want although the home church is going to be online, mainly, we want there to still be a very personal connectiveness between every single person. So that's where I was thinking if we did something on a separate channel that was more so just people that had the link, could access it, something like that, so that we could really sit down and have a time of communion and fellowship with one another in a forum that isn't completely just open to anyone and everyone. That was our thought. That's what we were kind of thinking about this week. But again, we wanted to throw it out to you guys, since you guys are the ones that we are hoping to serve throughout this endeavor. We want to make sure that it's something that sounds good to you guys and not just us coming up with ideas. So that was kind of the thought on that. But yeah, if you guys Sunday morning I think I have it set to post by like 6 a.m. So it can be on there super early with the Bible study. So that way, whatever kind of works best for your family, if you want to listen to that. And then maybe starting next week or something, unless you guys want to do one tomorrow. Well, tomorrow we're going to be recording with Lex and them, but we'll figure it out. But then maybe later on in the afternoon, maybe more like 3:00 Eastern or something like that, we could do the live to kind of discuss the Bible study and have a time of fellowship and stuff in that way. So that's kind of what I was kicking around and thinking about. I think it would work well. I mean, one way to find out, right? We could try it and see how everybody likes it, see how it works. And then it's good too, because then if you can't make the live, which is a bummer, you can't always go back and, access that whenever I leave all of our lives up. So I think that might be a cool way to work it. We have had a lot of prayer requests this week that have been just fantastic. I know, Tamara, we've got Brett's medical stuff coming up here at the end of the month. But you guys seriously I don't know if we've ever had a week like this week where we felt so like emotionally drained over just kind of everybody within this community and things going on, where it's just like, oh my gosh, what do we do? How do we help? How do we serve? How do we do these things? But it was, so anyways, hopefully it's back. I don't know what this is doing. It's saying reconnecting. So anyways, it's connecting. So anyways, it's been a really exciting week as far as that and just seeing the ministry grow and change. I'm working with a bunch of amazing families for the next edition of our free e-magazine that we do. And we also got the e-magazine into Google Play Books. So if you go to Google Play Books on your phone or tablet or whatever and just search Minimalist Homeschool, that comes up. I'm trying to figure out getting it on iTunes. We do not use Apple products. So there's certain things that you have to have their products in order to upload to their stuff. So we're working on that. That's a work in progress. I don't know, but we have it on Amazon. We have it on Google Play. That's awesome. You'll always be able to get our e-magazine on our website as well. And the families that we are working with, you guys, I have just been praying. And the families that we are working with, you guys, I have just been praying that God would really lay a message on their hearts as they're all coming together to share these things with us. And it's really cool because I've actually gotten messages from different families that are like, I just haven't been able to sleep. God has put this message on my heart and I've got to share it. So that part of it has been really cool. Hey, Trav, you're going to have to do that thing now where you run down to the mailbox, because I think he's putting it in there right now. So one that we're going to be doing a podcast about here soon. Hold on, I'm trying to watch the mailman, make sure he does put it in the mailbox. Yeah, Trav, I think it's in there. There is a family ministry that I just stumbled upon this past week. Hi, Bundy. Hey. You want to bring her here and you can go right down and grab that real quick? Yeah. Take your bike and be super fast. Say hi. It's Miss Olivia. You're supposed to be napping, but the dog woke her up. But it's this family ministry. Huh?
Ask them who wants to buy the dog.
Oh yeah, Travis would like to get rid of Lola because she woke up the baby. So if anybody would like a super adorable miniature dash hound with some attitude problems, Travis is, I think, ready to ship her off to anyone who wants her. What is going on? Did it disconnect again, you guys? Or is it just my thing? I have no idea. Say hello. But we found this other family ministry. They're super, super sweet homeschool family. And hey, I've told them before that you want Lola. Travis might send her. So if I see you guys sending each other messages, I can get your address. The funny part about this family ministry is that they are located like a town away from where I was born back in Southern California. So they're like from our hood back in the day, which is just crazy. What a small world. But they are super fantastic. And we have been kind of talking with them. They're going to share an article in the next magazine. They are writing up an awesome thing. We're going to have an advertisement in there for them. And their whole thing is Rapture Awareness. Super sweet. This Get Caught Up movement that they're doing, we were just so excited by. And Brandon and I will be doing sorry, I'm trying to fix this thing. Brandon and I will be doing a podcast kind of talking about this stuff too, that we'll be sharing not this week, the week after, but they do t-shirts. Sorry, I'm trying to think of my words. They make t-shirts, and any donation to their ministry, they send you a t-shirt. Their t-shirts are awesome. I will probably go ahead and link them in the description when we're done because they're really, really cool. But they have this special going. We found them the day it was ending that you could get a sweatshirt. And this is my like yucky sweater that I just wear all the time. And I really need a new sweater, but minimalism, right? I never get one. And I've talked about it before, but even like Christian t-shirt makers and stuff that take verses out of context, or you're not getting the whole message of it, just drives me crazy. And so I've seen a few before that I thought about buying and then I kind of hesitate. But anyways, they were doing sweatshirts with their logo, with their ministry and stuff that they were doing. And I said, you know what, Brandon and I talked about it, and he said, yep, you need to get one. I think that's the sweater you need. So I ordered it. We'll be getting t-shirts soon. Our family ministry will be making a donation to them to get a t-shirt, which is just such an awesome thing. But my sweater came in today, so I told Travis when the mail came, he'd have to go grab it. Say good morning to Virginia. What happened to your face?
I was snacking.
Got little boo-boos. Where's your puppy?
Hey, Mom. You want me to live Zoe?
You can bring her in here real quick. I don't know if you guys saw our vlog from Friday, I'm pretty sure, but we got a new family member this week. Virginia has been wanting a puppy for forever, and so clearly we don't have enough critters to be taken care of day in and day out, so we got a puppy.
Hi, Zoe. She's German Shepherd and Cattle Dog, right?
Yeah, German Shepherd and Cattle Dog. Oh, goodness.
She's a playful dog like we have.
All right, look out. So anyways.
I just wanted to like Zoe.
Yes,
Hi.
yes, thank you
Is
for
Chloe
loving
and her
Zoe.
mother here?
Her mom is, yeah. Say hi to Chloe.
Hi. Hi, Chloe and her.
So anyways, that has been, I don't know, kind of what we've been doing
Where's
here.
Dad?
Anyways, Dad's coming. I'm waiting on Dad. All right, can you maybe take Zoe out to go to the restroom, please?
It's my turn to do it, right?
Thank
Collar her, just let her outside.
All right, Becky, go feed your family. Thanks for hanging out with us. You can come back and watch later, but have a good one. I'm glad you got to come hang out. Okay, so
Mom,
Yes,
I'll
new-
put her on a leash.
no, just take her and go real quick.
Hi, Zoe.
This puppy, she is so cute, but we are in the midst of getting her to figure out the whole girl potty outside, not inside thing. So my floors are cleaner than they've ever been, though, because I've been mopping around the clock for the past 24 hours. Could you stop making choking noises?
Yeah.
Yeah, you silly girl. Anyways, I don't know how I ever get anything done. Really? Crazy. I know this week we were supposed to talk about marriage. That was kind of the plan that we had at first. Shh. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the different topics. Remember I said let's do topics each week for the lives. That way we have something. We did minimalism. We did parenting. I thought like more marriage stuff would be good. And I don't have a fourth one. I didn't figure out one that I thought would be the best unless you guys have a suggestion. And I don't know if it was just the way I asked the questions this week, if maybe it wasn't something that many people connected with. I don't know what it was, but I feel like we definitely did not get a response to the marriage one like we did parenting. All right, you give me this and you come take her. I'll swap you.
What is that?
This is my
I don't know, I kind of like that. Can I stay with that?
Where is my other half? Yes, I know. Hard to do a marriage one without my other half. His back is hurting him, so he has not come up here yet. I am waiting on him. So while I have while I have you guys here, what is it?
It's really cool.
Oh yeah, from the Chosen People Ministry.
What is that?
Okay, anti-Semitism. It's a Christian group that ministers to the Jewish community, and so we get stuff from them. Let me show you guys my Rapture Awareness.
You got Rapture Awareness?
I got a
not
new
me?
sweater. Daddy said I could get one because I've wanted one. Oh, look how cute it comes all like rolled
Who
up.
made this?
Hold on, let me open it up. Oh, look how cool. cool.
Get caught up.
Rapture Awareness, get caught up. Isn't that cool? If you go on Instagram and just search Rapture Awareness, their stuff comes up. And even like their little reasoning for why they use the little rocket ship and everything. It's really super cool. So yay, I finally have a new, you know what? I'm going to switch my sweatshirt real quick since I've been dying to get this. And our family, like I said, our family is donating and getting t-shirts from them. So you guys will have to check them out. They're pretty awesome. Ooh, and it's like super soft. Okay. Look, isn't that cute? I'm excited. Now I don't have my ratty, nasty sweatshirt to wear anymore. Hun, I got my shirt or my sweater.
Yeah, I know.
Did you see? He's coming.
Oh, you're wearing it?
Yeah, I got to switch.
Sure.
It's playing on the back.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's playing. Thank you.
Where's Dad?
All right, Daddy's coming.
Hi, Dad.
Okay, anyways, the point for today was supposed to be marriage. Kind of warm, actually, really don't even need a sweater, but now I want to wear it. Was supposed to be marriage topics. I don't know if you guys have any specific things that you want to talk. Thank you. Isn't this cool with the pockets? Yes, I know girls in their pockets. We have to have pockets. Isn't it nice though? And it's super soft. It's really affordable. Hey, can you go sit down? And then, yeah, I'm excited. The shirts are really cool, you guys. We love them. I did message, it's a husband and wife that do it. And I did message them and I told them, I said, I'm super sorry. I do not mean to be overbearing. It's just, I feel like this topic, and this is why Brandon and I are going to podcast on it. I feel like this is a very important topic that has almost become like taboo within the Christian community, which I don't understand whatsoever. But to see another family ministry really stepping out in faith to talk about these things and do these things is just a fantastic mission. So you guys will have to go check them out and see all of their stuff. But I'm really excited to have them and their story. They started sharing with us their story, and it was just like, oh my gosh, they break your heart. It's fantastic to see what God is doing with them, even in all of the opposition they're facing. It's just fantastic to see God work. More eggs. You guys, if you need farm fresh eggs, let me know, because we cannot, holy cow, we cannot keep up with all. Jello like that?
Yeah,
That's
Jello
huge.
like that.
Go give
It's
me
not
one of the
big.
regular size eggs so we can show the size difference.
She always has long eggs. She never has big
These eggs
size.
are huge. We have so many eggs, you guys. I like need to find people to give them to. Yeah, come here. Show them we'll show you guys the difference in size here. Let me see. Are you gonna do it? Okay. So look at those. Look at the size difference.
It's our chicken bunny.
This is Bunny's egg that always comes in the house, and then that's one Jella just laid. Look at that. All right, go put them in the. Yep, go put them in the thing. Yeah, and it's so weird. And it's something that drives Brandon and I nuts and stuff. But it's like anytime you try to talk about the end, right? The rapture, anything along the lines, with that, there's always so much, I don't know, kind of chaos and craziness that comes with it, and people get, I don't know. It's just, I don't get it. Well, I do. I have my theories, but you just see how everything kind of comes apart within the Christian community even. So when we found this family and all this Rapture Awareness stuff, we just thought that was so cool, the way that they're stepping out to raise awareness, to people in this. And especially as we look at the signs of the times and everything going on around us, you just see like bullseyes going off. Our family, for our just normal morning Bible studies, our kids asked if we could read through Isaiah again. That's one of their favorite prophet books that we've read through a couple times now with them. But we're going back through and reading through Isaiah every morning, and just different little things that we see mentioned in there. And it's like, oh, wow.
I love it.
Yeah, it's something right there. You want to come sit with me?
Is it black?
Yeah.
I'm to go
There
wash
was
it
one
off.
more.
More eggs.
This is
Yes.
Edna's.
And Miss Edna. So here's another one. All right. Can you go put it in the.
She's a silver lace
Yes, silver laced. Wyandotte.
wine.
Anyways, I thought it was kind of telling considering when I asked about parenting, I got a huge response of topics people wanted to talk about. But then when I asked about marriage, I didn't really get very much. Maybe everybody just has really awesome marriages and they're not struggling with anything. And so there's nothing they really wanted to discuss. That would be cool. Maybe that is the case. I also feel like a lot of times we put our marriage on the back burner and the kids instead, or what's the focus. Hey, love. You come hang out with me?
You're gonna make me.
Because I do make you. You like doing it though. So I told them that your Bible study is going out tomorrow morning. And then I said, what about, Tamara says hi. And I asked them, what about
Jerry.
doing no, it's the puppy grunt.
Oh, wait, Jerry.
I asked them about doing a live, like how you and I were talking about in the afternoon, where we could discuss and talk about things. And so far, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about marriage today, but I feel like nobody really had marriage questions. Brandon, how's your back?
It's been better. Yeah, it's been a lot better than it was last week.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for asking.
Still sore, still struggling a little bit. He feels bad. He wears those pads. What are they called?
The electric or the electroshock pad.
Yeah, those like electroshock pads that you put on to help do that. But it makes him look like he's like
twitching,
as they like move his muscles, the muscle therapy pads or whatever. So he was like, I don't know if I can sit through the whole thing, but I don't want to be sitting here with my pads on all like twitching and going
They
crazy.
have one egg in it.
Oh my gosh, more eggs.
It's
we've got way more.
I offered, I said, does anybody want farm fresh eggs?
Yeah,
Because
we can
I've got
totally
like
send you some.
7 dozen sitting on the counter. And we've been eating eggs like crazy. We still can't get through them all. Anyways, I asked more like marriage questions, which I didn't get much of a response from, but I almost feel like that's telling because I feel like we normally just put marriage on the back burner anyways, in a lot of ways. And then we kind of, those little pad thing, I don't know, whatever they're called. They really do work well.
Yeah,
Great
they
to
definitely
use.
help.
He kind of lives in them right now, but it's helping get it better. I hope we can get him to the chiropractor soon, because that's what he needs to do. He really needs to get to the chiropractor. So praying we'll be able to do that here soon. I think it's interesting though how we always somebody had posted some video on Facebook or whatever that was going around yesterday where it's like this wife writes a letter to her husband and is like, it's not that, I don't love you or anything less, and I'm not the person I used to be. It's just I'm too busy now having to be a mom and a caretaker and work and, do all of these things. And obviously that's a huge part of it. Like, yeah, Tamara, like you say, you obviously have your hands full with a child who has special needs and you have so many things that you have to do and that takes over so much. But I feel like so often because, it's hard. We have so much on our plates in the daily everything that marriage does take a backseat because ain't nobody got time for that. Like, what are you supposed to do when you have to take care of all of these things? I feel like a lot of it's our fault in the sense that we put so much on our plates or we let the norm of having so much on our plates
definitely
kind
not
of.
a Tamara's case.
No, and it's not across the board, but how often do we, we have to still work. We have to still have a perfect home. We have to, you know what I mean? Like we just take on so much.
Yeah.
Like we have to do all of these things. Our kids have to have, all of these, just the video had all these examples like, well, I have to do this and I have to do this for the kids and that for the kids. And I'm watching it. And I'm like, why don't the kids do that for themselves? Like make their lunch or whatever. Like, why don't you just make it something simple that isn't this like.
I feel like this is so far away and I can turn her.
I don't know. that better?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I can see a little bit better. So.
Okay, well, that's it. But I know in so many cases, obviously some cases can't be helped, right? Like sometimes you have a newborn, right? You're well, guess
Yeah,
what?
definitely.
Your marriage is going to take the back seat while you have a newborn.
And as a husband, yeah, you definitely have to realize that. I mean, that obviously there's a couple months there where there's absolutely nothing that you can possibly do.
Well, and obviously some children are going to require more things depending on medical reasons, emotional.
The only good thing too in our case was, I mean, your surgery kept you from doing anything for months anyway. I mean, literally anything.
Oh yeah, I gotta lay around on the chair all day long and actually rest. But I think that we even just culturally and in society.
See, I love the way Gigi whistles.
Yeah.
She just puts her fingers in her lips and she goes.
Yeah.
She makes the noise.
Virginia is teaching her dog to come to her, and she says, "Woo!" Like, she's just
So funny.
so cute. But how often do we just put our marriage
My shirt's cold now.
behind stuff for any reason? And even just society, and even within the Christian community, well, he can wait, you're doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and
we're
there's
gonna push that.
and there's again, I don't want to. This doesn't obviously there's
not a
unique.
one-size-fits-all.
Yeah, it's not. But at the same time, on the other side of it, for somebody that's just in a normal situation, a normal marriage that is just not purposely, but just letting it go on the back burner.
Mhm.
And making it an issue that goes second
Mhm.
and that's where you run into problems, I think, in marriage. And I mean, biblically, that's when you run into problems too. I mean, both of you are one in order for you to come together and be productive and produce fruit as one person. You guys need to have that special relationship, and that strengthens all aspects in life. I mean, when you have a strong, healthy marriage, I mean, you're constantly doing things for one another. You're constantly trying to fill those gaps for one another.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, obviously, when that's not there, I think guys just naturally just slack off because it's like, well, if she doesn't care, I don't care, which is not a right. I mean, that's just that's not a right way to do with it. But
I think as a whole,
I think that's just what happens.
Yeah.
Just what tends to happen because you definitely need that, and that needs to be the forefront. I mean, obviously, Christ needs to be the center, but then off of that, that's just to keep us strong. That's just to keep our relationship strong. And you need that, and that just needs to be first.
Well, I feel like we see so much resources for parenting and self-improvement being pushed in like every aspect of our lives, right? Like you can see a million resources for making yourself better, and parenting is a big one that we go to because we're dealing with behavioral problems, discipline problems, educational problems, things like that. But I feel like, not that there's nothing for it, but I feel like marriage is the one that we put to the back burner the quickest.
Yeah, it's one of the easiest.
It's one of the easiest, but it's so backwards because if you really put a focus on that, it will in turn help the other things. Like it will help your self-help stuff and your parenting. Like those things will be helped.
I mean, and being called to love your wife as Christ loves the church, like that's the basic premise of it, which is huge. That's not so. I mean, in both of those, I think that has to be the forefront for everything. Even when you don't have time, I mean, make time. Don't let those things that normally you're like, okay, well, he can wait.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, that's not the right way to go about it. Which it's not easy. We know that it takes
We're not perfect
time.
at it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still something that we're both trying to perfect.
Well, and it's something that I think we see, and it's when all of these other projects and things that I've usually come up with and start going crazy with, and then it's like,
Like bringing puppies into the house and that kind of
like
stuff.
bringing puppies into the house. But we start doing all of these things and you get so overwhelmed by it. And then it's like, you know, you don't even notice it sometimes. And then all of a sudden it's like, gosh, we haven't even like, you know, or you just get lost, you know, in your phones or whatever. And it's like, we just spent the last hour hanging out, both of us sitting here just staring at our phones, reading whatever, you know, which is fun to do sometimes, you know, but you just realize how quickly and easily it is to get to the back. And that's where I'm so thankful that you and I were always such good friends, because I think that helped float us when we were being bad spouses. You know what I mean? Like we weren't being what we should have been, you know, husband and wife, maybe in whatever thing, but because we were really good friends, that helped. I think that's through.
Probably what floated us through to the better time, definitely.
But yeah, I think I hate to see how, and I feel like
absolutely.
People make this big deal about date your spouse, right? And it's not that I disagree with that, because that's fantastic. You should date your spouse. I think that would be cool if we got to go do stuff like that. When was the last time you and I went out to eat together or something?
Geez, I can't even remember. Well, it would have had to have been probably when you and I can't think of the last time when we went to Florida together to do the wedding.
2 years ago.
Can you think of a time?
No.
See?
Okay. So that's where I think date your spouse sometimes gets a little wonky, because we have actually had people come to us
I'll be back.
in like we've actually had like friends and stuff come to us kind of in like a counseling type situation where they have been, you know, like she's really upset. We never get to go out on dates. We need to go do these dates. We still need to be doing this. And it's like, yeah, I get that that's nice. Like if you can go do that, that's fantastic. Of course, go do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think sometimes then we set up this expectation that if he's not making these dinner reservations and taking you out and doing these like special big date things, that you're lacking. You know what I mean? And that's just ridiculous, because that's not the case. I mean, obviously, the last time we got hired and went to Florida to do a wedding like 2 years ago for someone was the last time I think we've ever eaten anywhere together, just the two of us, or done anything like that. So while of course, if you can do that with your spouse, that's fantastic. It doesn't mean you have to, though. So don't feel like you're getting gypped, you know, in the grand scheme of things, because you're not getting to do that. Like Brandon and I, we have a date every night, I would say. We usually keep a TV series that we want to watch. We watched all of the Dick Van Dyke Show, Green Acres. For us, it's usually like old TV. But we, in the evenings, after the kids have all gotten put to bed and the house is calm and quiet and all of that, we will sit down, I make our cup of tea, and we sit down and drink tea and watch a little 30, 45-minute, you know, TV show together. And that's our kind of every evening, like our special thing that we look forward to sit down and watch and do together. That's really a special time. Look out, sweetheart. But we love doing that. Yes, Lex actually. I was going to ask, okay, so Lexi, who does the Mary More Than Martha, and she's done the podcast, stuff with us. She had texted me that they were doing, her and her husband were going on a date yesterday. And so I was curious last night to find out what you guys did and if you had fun, but I was like, no, I'll just wait till you guys come up here before I ask. So yeah, she said spent half of it walking around Walmart and talking. It was perfect. Watching a movie.
Remember, we did the same exact thing.
I know, but sometimes just to go and like cruise around together.
But we had a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Especially, that was a lot of fun.
But I feel like now, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't date your spouse, because obviously if you can, that's fantastic. But I don't think you should feel like you're getting gypped and it's less than if you're not getting to go out on these awesome dates. Yeah, okay, like this. My husband is not a details person and I am, but I've learned to appreciate the way he shows love, like making sure my car has gas, vacuuming it for me because she's allergic, making sure I'm okay, etc. But that is, and I know you can do that. No, we're gonna have lunch as soon as we're done, I promise. we've done that the love languages quiz. Have you guys done that? If you like Google love languages quiz to find out like what your love language is and his, and like him and I have very, very different love languages. They're not the same. And so usually you will try to love someone the way that you feel love. So when you have different things, it makes it really difficult because I'm doing things that is for me the way that I feel love, but for him, if that doesn't register to him, he doesn't get it. So
yeah, that's just what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's definitely important to understand each other's way. And that's a huge, that's probably the unseen hard part of it.
yeah.
But actually, I think the hardest part of it that I think, and I don't know, people might disagree, but I think it's super important on both sides, but more so, I think the guy side, specifically those things, even if you don't like to do them, that other person likes and appreciates.
Sure.
So while we can do things in our own way to love you, I'll show.
Oh, sure. Kind of like
That
also.
too. We should also do and focus the things that you specifically like and that specifically speak to you.
Yeah.
We should go out of our way to do those on both sides, even if it's things that we don't like.
Sure.
There's plenty of things. See, that's why it's just taken me so many years to just be able to craft me into this person. And I'm just like, I lost myself years ago.
So we've totally wondered sometimes if we like the things we like because we actually like them, or we've just been together for so long since we were so young that we've like molded the other person into like what we wanted. Like Brandon is showing me love and service when he goes out in the freezing cold every morning and takes care of all of the chickens that he doesn't want to have, but now we have. But you love the chickens now, and you go out and you do that because you know that it's a help to me to not have to go out in the freezing cold and take care of the chickens. And I think some of our chickens have crushes on him. I'm pretty sure it's kind of awkward. I'm pretty sure the turkey thinks that like, because he had to show the roosters that he was head rooster to get them to behave. He totally loves the roosters.
I do. I mean, I don't
chickens.
hide from that.
But we're pretty sure the turkey thinks that like he is head rooster.
Yeah, it's creepy.
She has a crush on him. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. And Gina, Lex totally should. I highly doubt that, like, you have to go read Lex's blog in his season. I don't know if she's even actually watched our Mary More Than Martha's because she's kind of like him and doesn't want to hear herself, doesn't want to see herself. Like, I make them do the podcast and these videos and all of that stuff. And then when we get done, they're like, la, 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 I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. But I think they're really good. So thus I keep forcing them to do all of this stuff. But I think knowing the things that like Brandon would, oh, cool, more stuff on the blog today. So Brandon knows that I like having the bed made.
No,
I like having nice, pretty bed made with all the pillows and all of the stuff. I really love that. But I usually would wake up before him. So it was something that kind of frustrated me because obviously I'd wake up early and then he, by the time he got out of bed, then I'd never get back into the room and the bed would never get made. And I don't know, it frustrated me. And so he started just being super awesome bed maker and would make the bed every morning and put all the pillows and do the whole thing. He could care less. I mean, if he doesn't have a pillowcase on his pillow, it doesn't even faze him. Like sometimes he pulls the pillowcases off. Like I don't get it, you guys. I don't know why. I don't even put a top sheet on our bed anymore because it just.
That's a good example because that is like I learned that. So
but
like it is. It's the stupidest thing ever. Like
I know he's a monster.
He's a monster.
It's horrible. But he gets up and he will make our bed every morning and does all the pillows and does the whole thing. And obviously it is not for him because he's a monster who doesn't even care about pillowcases.
Well, the girls started doing it for us recently.
And then our girls started doing it, yeah, because they know that's such a good thing to do. But it is so sweet when you think of what is some way, maybe that's something that we all can kind of challenge ourselves with today because we always can do more, but what's something that your spouse really enjoys or something that would be a true help to them and go do it. Don't say anything, just go do it. This was kind of my topic. I talked about, you obviously don't know because you don't watch any of our stuff, but Brandon and I, talking about different things like what can you do that your spouse really likes. So do you know your spouse really likes when you wear your hair a certain way, or you paint your nails, or you don't paint your nails, or you wear makeup or you don't wear makeup, or you wear a certain thing, or or whatever. What's something that you can do? Maybe it's not your favorite and your go-to, but what can you do that is their favorite? So you go and do that. Like, when was the last time short hair?
Since
When Travis was 2 years old, he is 14 now. I went to get my hair trimmed, and when they turned me around in front of the mirror, it was like above my shoulders. I have not had my hair that short, I don't think, since I was a kid. And I was like, when I get home, Brandon is going to have a heart attack. And sure enough, I walk in the door and he was just like, what happened? Yeah. So my hair always stays long because he really likes long hair. He even gives my mom a hard time when she cuts her hair really short. So it's not just me, but, but look at you. So Gina said husband likes clean floors. She just wouldn't mop the floors. Good for you. I've mopped our floors about 6 times today, but that's because we have a new puppy who keeps peeing on them. So our floors are super clean. But there are certain things like, one of Brandon's really big pet peeves is cold coffee left in coffee mugs, like laying around on the counter. It drives him bananas crazy. And so that's one thing. As soon as we finish Bible study every morning, I make sure I take my coffee mug to the sink and like rinse it out immediately. So there's not just cups of coffee laying all over the place. But I think it's too easy to get caught up and not even stop to ponder even little things like that, right? Like, I'm going to make sure the floors stay clean because that's something that you really appreciate. Brandon is also really big on going and getting our car cleaned because I like a clean car. I was that kid that every week when I had my car would like get out my Q-tips and like detail the whole car. I like it clean. And a bunch of kids living out in the country, like, it's never clean. It's always a disaster, especially when it rains all the time. But that's something that Brandon will do a lot, where he will go out there, especially summertime. He's got his little bucket with all his car cleaning stuff, and he will go out there and just head to toe, like clean the whole car inside and out and do all of that. And to me, that's such a service. So then when I go and get in the car to do a wedding or to do something, it just makes my day. Speaking my love language, huh? But I think that's something cool to think of and do. What's something that we know our spouse really, really appreciates that I can go and do, not because of any other reason than just to do it, and do that. I shared Hayden making us chocolate covered strawberries.
Oh yeah.
So we did our little Valentine's Day celebration and we got stuff to make chocolate covered strawberries, which I was planning to totally do, but then he took over, and loved it. So he made us chocolate.
Because I think I started it because you had gone to do something with Ollie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
and it was just sitting there, and it was kind of like bubbling up, and I was like, I don't think so. I better stir this, and I started stirring it. And
you just so good.
Started stirring the sauce, Karen.
Yeah. Poor brothers, we're watching sauce all day. So he made that, and then we went again and got even more. So we got like the big container of strawberries twice this week, plus all the chocolate. He's been making chocolate covered strawberries, chocolate covered pretzels, all of the chocolate covered things. So he's been definitely spoiling us. I was even thinking maybe for Sabbath tonight we should do that as our dessert. I could get more because we haven't eaten that this past. Okay, get more. Maybe if they have it.
Again, so that'll be the third time this week.
So third time this week that he's making us chocolate covered strawberries. But no, I think it's something that we all can stop and remember and not let our marriage take the back seat. It's hard and it's not perfect, but I think even maybe you need to assess your schedule. Maybe you have too much on your plate and you need to let things go. Yeah, you can't go wrong with anything covered in chocolate. Come on now. But sometimes there is stuff that we need to let go. Like, why are you putting so much on yourself? And that's me talking to me, because if anybody knows me, I always have like 8 billion projects and I'm constantly creating chaos for myself. But you're like side-eyeing me.
Yeah.
But trying to make
I'm
sure.
thinking about a new dog peeing in the floor like 8 times yesterday, all throughout the
more
day.
than that. I asked my brother, I go, how many times do you think the new puppy peed outside? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, 1? How many times do you think she peed inside? And he held up 3 fingers.
I told Trav yesterday, I was like, I don't know why I wasn't really against this.
I know you weren't. It's because she's so cute.
She is stinking adorable.
I asked him before.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're exactly right.
Yeah. I did ask him before we left to the shelter. I said, at what point will you become really super mad? Like, how many animals can I get away with bringing into the house before, like, that's it, you finally put your foot down? Yeah, he is a sucker. And I'm pretty sure
That
at
is
his
true.
older age, he's Dr. Doolittle, you guys. The chickens, even the new puppy he went to try to leave, he okayed sheep. He said we can get
No
sheep.
goat. No.
After that
No.
creepy tunnel video, I don't know, the goats. I loved goats. I've
No,
always loved
that
goats,
wasn't
but
me. Like, I've always
see,
hated them.
Lex, yeah, he never liked goats. I always loved them because goats are
I
the
want
cutest thing
sheep.
ever. But after that creepy tunnel video, I don't know if I can
Yeah,
do
I want a
goats.
couple sheep.
But he said we could have sheep, and there's somebody down the road that has sheep. So when we were driving by the other day, and Lily goes, so do you think if we find those people and ask them, like, hey, if you have a couple sheep you don't want, like, we'll take them for you, like, Dad won't get mad, right? So even the girls do it. How many animals can we bring home before Brandon goes crazy? Oh, okay.
I'm straining myself to see.
Because you can't see. Maybe your eyes are just really bad.
They are. But you know that.
I know
You're not
when
speaking my love language when you don't know that my eyes
when
are
I
blue.
did the live with my mom, since she's like totally blind now, doing all these things and stuff was going on, and my mom was like, "Are we on there? I can't see." It was kind of funny.
What?
She couldn't see it at all. Like
What
the
did you
people.
like
Like,
it? No.
oh, if I just leave a go, yeah. If you just
If
showed
you just
up,
leave it, no.
he won't do anything. He won't send it away. Come on now.
Okay, watch me.
Was it not awesome that I got so it's like challenge accepted to see how many animals we can bring to the property before Brandon makes them leave?
Oh yeah, you just saw the video of Coco.
So
She was, like,
wasn't
hanging
it
out.
cool though that Brandon finally did a video with me? Because you guys, he is like always just right behind the camera, so that way he's
Do not bring a goat to my house.
okay. Everybody,
Bring
just
sheep.
start sending animals to our house. I will give you our address, and we'll see how many we can get here before Noah loses his mind.
Noah?
With all the animals, we'll see how many you can get.
No, you just referred to me as Noah.
Yes. Oh, maybe not a snake. We don't need a snake. We have plenty of those. The chickens,
Ball python, that'd be cool.
the chickens chase down the snakes, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, you could bring a ball python. I'd be down for that.
Remember, you wanted a ball python until we looked it up, and they live for like 35 years.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not dealing with a snake for 35 years. Yes, he does need to. Yes, he is hilarious, isn't he? I think he's like the funniest person, but he's my favorite person just in total. I had so much fun getting him to do the videos, and I think he should do more videos, more of our vlogs with us. He hates it so much, you guys.
yeah.
Him and Lex, I'm telling you, when I make them do all this stuff, he really only does these lives, one, because
Okay. Now
Lex
people
is
are
just
gonna
being-
start questioning my Christianity here in a minute if you bring a trans one on my house.
like that meme where the house got
Yeah.
burnt down.
Yeah.
Okay, Lex, can at least be like fluffy things.
At least fluffy things.
Face right there. So okay. If you guys have watched our rapid fire ones, our podcast that we do, Alexis really wants to film those so that way you guys can see Brandon's facial reactions to these different topics because it's so funny. But I think Brandon should do more videos with me. I think it was fun and he should stop being a baby and just do it. I wouldn't. I'm terrified of spiders too. Yeah, no spiders. So send any like fluffy type critters to our house and let's see how many animals we can get before Brandon gets really angry and blows his top.
Yeah,
Or I thought you were getting up. I thought you were going to leave.
I was. No.
But anyway, see, I bet he won't. See, we're challenging him now. See, this is how you have a good marriage. You just bring home a bunch of animals until your spouse goes crazy. I second the filming the rapid fire. Ooh.
Why?
You guys, it would be so good. Those would be so funny to film.
Maybe I'll work out like a funny camera angle where you only see like a piece of my head or something. And then see. I don't know.
No.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, they are coming up tomorrow. So really, if you guys have any specific topics that you would like to request for us to, Yeah,
so next time we do these lives, just assume that I'm completely blind like your mother and fully closed, because then I can see a
Now
lot
you
better.
can see,
Yeah,
okay.
Just like that.
I told him like I probably shouldn't say that, but like Joe Rogan, how he does his podcast, how you can see.
Yeah,
like,
why do
each
you know
person
how Joe Rogan
recording,
does
like
his
how does each
podcast?
person recording and then see like the camera? I think that's how we should do it. I think that would be cool. And that's why we want to set up like a little outdoor like patio hangout space for doing Russia radio. Yeah, they do it like that too. We can
tons of that.
record the stuff. But if you have any topics for Mary More Than Martha that you guys want to see Lex and I record on specifically tomorrow, because her and I are kind of working on which ones we should do for that. And then, like I said, we want to do a podcast talking about depression, I think, which is a really big one that I'm really excited to discuss. That's something that Brandon deals with quite extensively, and then Lex does as well. So I think to have us sitting down with our spouses and talking about it, on both angles, I think would be a really good one to do. And then I have some requested topics that some people had sent to me for possible podcasts and stuff. But if you guys have any ones specifically that you'd like to hear about, let us know. But then again, Brandon's Bible study, we'll have that posting tomorrow morning. And then every Sunday morning, we'll have the Bible. Cool. We'll have the Bible. If you have any, if you guys come across crazy
I got one for tomorrow already.
Yeah, you do.
The one Robert Jeffers calling Christians spineless morons.
Yeah. If you guys come across crazy news headlines that you're like, oh my gosh, this is insane, go to Lexi's page. If you go to Instagram in his season, and message them to her. And because when we do those rapid fire topics, they're all ones that she puts together and just throws out to us so that we have no idea what they are that are coming, like the gay penguins and all the other stuff. So if you guys come across like ridiculous, crazy headlines, news headlines that you want to have thrown out at those, you can totally message them over to her. And then that way she can put them on the list. But yeah, that's a good one. So we're going to work on those. We'll have all those recordings coming up, obviously Bible study in the morning. And then I really think it would be cool if you guys want to do, we'll have the Bible studies post in the morning for AMP Home Church. And then we could do like a separate live later in the afternoon just to kind of discuss and chat. We are just recording them currently right now, just our stuff. Hey, Miss Claudia. But I want it to be something we do. Claudia, seriously, send them over to Lex. Just if you go on Instagram and then pull up in his season, and you can just message them all over to us or over to her, and she'll pull them up for us. There is so much, and there's a lot of things we'd like to talk about, but sometimes we don't know if it would interest anyone else. So we try to.
And then there's sometimes that I just need to rant.
Yeah, that happens too. Cool. So we'll be doing that. You guys have to go and check out, they can't see now, but you have to go pull up the Rapture Awareness. They're so awesome. And I will link that down in the description so you guys can pull up where I got the sweater from. But let's do Bible study in the morning. And then maybe I was kind of thinking if we did Claudia, if you go pull up Rapture Awareness, it's a family ministry, husband and wife, homeschool their kids, the whole thing. They have an amazing story. They're actually going to write an article for our upcoming free e-magazine that's going to come out March 1st, the spring edition. But they're going to write, kind of tell their whole story and what they're about and what it is and everything. But if you go on Instagram and just pull up Rapture Awareness, they've got a lot of stuff on there and you can kind of see what they're about and everything. They're really super sweet family. Funny story is they're located like a town over from the town I was born in Southern California, which is kind of cool. But they're really, really awesome. I got the sweater, and then they make
They're in Victorville.
They're in Victorville, yeah. If you make any donation to their ministry, they'll send you a t-shirt. They've got really cool t-shirts, and they're getting ready to get some more printed for the kiddos even and everything. So they're really super sweet. It was so cool, the people that God brings into your
super stoked that we found him this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I became kind of obsessed with him real quick.
Yeah. But we've got all of that stuff going on. Yeah, I want to we'll do the Bible study in the morning, and then I was thinking maybe if we did the live to kind of talk about the Bible study more like 3:00 in the afternoon Eastern time. That would make it like noon West Coast time. If that would be a good fit for everyone, we can kind of play with that. I want to make sure that it's something that
we can send ideas and just
I want to make sure it's something that obviously we can't make it perfect for every person under the sun's schedule, but something that would be the best fit for everyone. But I think doing a live after Bible study would be kind of a cool thing to get to hang out and chat and all of that. So I'll work on that. Like I said, hopefully praying for the provision, so that way we can get the home church website up. I have it all done and ready to go. So as soon as we can, you have to pay for the hosting plan and the domain and all that stuff. And then we can get that posted, which I'm really super excited to do, and get all of that out to you guys, because I really want to use this platform to not only get to study scripture together and do these different things, but really have a close-knit community as far as being able to pray with one another, help pray and provide provisions for one another, and counseling and all of those different things. So we've been getting to do a lot of it already anyways, but I'm excited to have an official platform put together and put out there. So hopefully we'll be able to get that out soon. Is there anything else you can think of marriage wise? Any other questions or something anybody cares about other than hey, go think of something your spouse really likes and just do it for them. Don't even say anything. Just do it. Now I have to think of something for you. What do you do for me? Do you know?
Yeah, but you're difficult. You're very
difficult.
Because all the things that I would try to do for you, you like doing anyway, and you just get mad if somebody else does them.
That is true.
So that's when we talked. I think we talked about this on a podcast once, if you just let go of certain things.
Yeah. That is hard. Yeah. Brandon does.
Like yesterday with your fancy mopping.
I like mopping our floors.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier if you have a regular mop, and a dog pees on your floors 16 times.
Dog peed so many times yesterday. He's so cute though. Yeah, Claudia, you'll have to go back and watch from the beginning. We've rambled on about things.
Gina, just ask Alexis. She knows what I'm talking about.
Whatever.
Alexis will vouch for me on this.
Okay, I get.
If she's still on, guys. It's self-cleaning.
I am particular, I guess, about
you guess. This started I remember this war back with friends of ours a while ago. I think back to that every time.
It's not difficult. It just is. What? I guess not. I haven't heard from anyone. Nobody's coming. Anyways, I'm going to go think of something kind and loving to do for Brandon without even saying anything to him, because I'm going to be an awesome wife. He's doing me an act of service by coming up and doing these videos.
Yeah, I'm doing excellent. Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to do more vlogs with us. It'll be fun. Yes, particular. I have a particular way
okay.
that I like to do.
I should have. Not
most
difficult.
all everything that.
Most all everything.
But I enjoy doing a lot of those things. You're right. I do like doing them. But that's where, you taking care of the chickens and cleaning the car and doing other things are such a big help. Huh.
Maybe I'll just start picking up cold cups of coffee. That's what I'll do. I'll go find a cold cup of coffee.
No, because I already rinsed it out and put it away because I know you don't like it. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I think it's fun to stop and think about what are things that we can do that they love. Oh, because he's nice. He is my favorite person.
You are.
And him, the older he gets, is like
You are.
he gets better all the time. I love you.
Aw.
Been together. It was 18 Valentines this year that we've been together.
Like I said, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Nobody should be together. that
Nobody
long.
should be together that long, especially people like me and you.
Yeah. But that's where I think it's been really cool that we got to share through the Raw and Intimate interview series our story.
How many
Yeah, because it's
Christmases
just
have you
ridiculous.
guys been married?
18 years. All right, guys, we'll let you all go and get up. Yeah, there's not many in our generation. I don't think we have 2 sets of friends, Lex and her husband being one of them. But I think those are our only 2 friends that have actually like been married and stayed married,
Yeah.
like to one person married, you know.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy though when you get to these points where like I remember when we hit the point of we've now been a couple for half of my lifetime, you know, and stuff like that. Like when you get to those marker points of I've now been with you longer than I've not been with you, like in all of my life, which is crazy.
Yeah, yes, Claudia, he is, and he spared us both from living lives of just drama. So that's really cool.
Yeah, which I'm very
I'm good to have it wrapped up for the
I know
remainder of it.
I can't imagine, you know, and like I tell him all the time, but I go, you are like literally my favorite person ever. You quite genuinely are. Oh. Lex is calling me. Sorry, Lex.
Anymore.
All right, guys. Well, we will let you all go get some lunch. I've got to go get our family lunch and pick up my mother-in-law. Claudia, we both grew up in the church. So, I mean, since we were little kids, but that's where Brandon has even said, like, yes, I knew Jesus, and I guess technically I was saved, but getting older and just really having a greater understanding and really getting it. And that was kind of our point with like the whole growing up churches, because we just always grew up in it. I don't think we realized
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't want to take the time to work it out, and but then again, I mean that's loss of love, because
Yeah.
I mean if you love somebody, you will no matter what,
Mhm.
work it out, and that's definitely what happened in our case.
Yeah. But I think we just always grew up in the church. And so a lot of stuff we just kind of took for granted. I don't know like what the best way to do it is. So we always grew up in there, but definitely getting older and kind of stepping off
Yeah,
into our own.
I guess my answer to that would be like more of a realization to it would have been, because I was acting. That's why I always compare it to Paul, where it was like, yeah, he was faithful to God, but then he was acting this whole period of time in unbelief.
Sure. Yeah.
The whole time I was a
That's a good way
Pharisee,
to put it.
and then the realization of Christ.
Mhm.
That's what 3 years, about 3 years.
Yeah. 4, well, maybe 4 now. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's an interesting point to think about. And yeah, you're right. And I think kind of like Claudia, if you go back and watch too, we were talking about how marriage just gets put on the back burner so often. And I think that's kind of part of along those lines of everybody gets married thinking,
Amen.
well, if it doesn't work out, whatever, you just get divorced and go marry someone else. It's kind of like our go-to. And I think that's because so often we are so okay with just putting marriage on the back burner and just letting it just kind of be, I mean, we do that so often. It's so easy. Society encourages it. Even within the church, we encourage it in a lot of ways. So I think that's kind of a big one, to make sure that we are not just letting marriage be that thing that just gets thrown willingly to the back burner whenever it fits our need. Like we said, obviously there are some instances where it has to be, right? I mean, there are certain, the media does not help whatsoever.
No.
Cut everything out and it will make your life better.
No,
Just
the
without
world
that stuff.
the world doesn't want marriage.
Because as soon as your marriage fails, your family fails. that's kind of just, I mean, we all know it. I'm sure most all of us come from a broken home in some sense, you know, of the
Yeah.
word. I mean, because statistically, that's just kind of how we're saying the same thing. But that's just kind of how statistically it works. I mean, most people are either been divorced themselves or come from their parents were divorced or friends, you know, I mean, everybody comes from it in some sense. We both come from single mom households. And so you see, marriage is hard work. And I would say that Brandon and I strongly disliked each other for at least the first half of our marriage. And now, I mean, to get past that though and get to this point is just such a blessing. And that's where we look back and why we feel it's important to share our story, because our story is everything and absolutely nothing about us. Because when we look back at all of it, it was God's the only reason why anything has gotten to work at all whatsoever, because it was not by our doing, because we did everything to ruin everything. Oh, hey,
No, you're cool.
Like, hey, I can't answer you yet. Sorry.
We're like overtime anyway.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that's kind of just a neat note to stop and say, hey, you know, let's try to think of what ways we, you know, always can do more. So what ways are you putting your marriage on the back burner, and how can you try to make that better? What's something that you know your spouse absolutely enjoys that you can do, be it the way you fix your hair, cleaning your floors, making your bed, you know, what are certain things that you know your spouse really enjoys that without saying anything, you can just go, that's not going to work, that you can just go and do for them today. I think we can always try to do something like that, which is really special. I feel like there's something else I was going to say, now I don't know what it was. Probably. All right. Well, I guess we will let you guys go and enjoy your day. Claudia, I'm glad you got to come make it. You'll have to go.
Yes.
It just needs a few minutes
go
to
back
process, and then you can go back and watch the beginning of it, I think, once I close this down. But otherwise, I'm really excited to hear you guys' feedback when you guys get the Bible study that we'll post tomorrow morning. Really, really excited to do that. And then we've got a pretty cool week of stuff coming out pretty much every day, and I'm going to be doing more vlogs since I have gotten many comments about people missing that, and then all of that. Yes, thank you so much. We're going to go enjoy our Sabbath, go pick up my mother-in-law, and do all of our things we do here. So thanks guys for hanging out with us. We hope you have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you, well, you'll hear from us tomorrow morning, and then we'll see you Monday. Bye guys.
Bye guys.